Welcome back, my friends, to another episode. I'm so stoked to see your face today. I'm stoked you're here because today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite things on this planet, in this life, something I'm very passionate about, and that is travel and destinations. Specifically today, destination weddings and destination photo shoots. How to do them, what can you do to get started, what happens if you get one, what do you do then? So today, I just want to give you 3 tips to book more destination weddings and destination photo shoots and what to do when you actually do book them. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is James Whitty. My wife Jess and I have been luxury destination wedding photographers for me the past decade and my wife the past 15 years, and we have photographed over 350 weddings all over the world. We absolutely love what we get to do, and now we get to continue doing that and teaching you how to do that, how to thrive in business, how to thrive in life, how to make more money with photography, and if you want to, how to travel the world while doing so. So today, without any further ado, let's dive in to the 3 tips I have for you today to begin shooting and booking more destination weddings. Step number 1, and it might sound silly or juvenile or basic or obvious, but step number 1 is very important. You must put it out into the world publicly that you are a destination photographer, that you are open for travel, that you are available worldwide or in whichever cities you want to photograph in. And I know that might sound basic, but I get asked all the time at our retreats and DMs and emails, which I love getting and I love answering, but I get asked, how do you do it? You know, how do you book the destination weddings? How do people fly you to Lake Como? How do they fly you to New York? And all of these things. And my first answer is, one, let's take a look at your website, let's take a look at your Instagram, and let's take a look at how you are communicating yourself to the world. How are people perceiving you? And it is rare, it's rare that I even see on someone's Instagram and website very quickly where they're based out of. Who can hire you, you know? It's like the niche marketing thing. If you're marketing to everyone, you're essentially marketing to no one. Yet, here in Santa Barbara, if people know, oh, they're based in Santa Barbara, they can book me here. Or in this case, oh, they actually are available worldwide, I can book them there. And I'm very specific about that. And worldwide might seem like not a niche, but destination weddings is a niche. So people look at me and they know and they see. If you take a look at our Instagram and you take a look at our website, you know we're available worldwide. You know we travel all the time because you see it, and that's the next step. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But step number 1 is putting it out in this world. It's rare that I see them say where they're at or where they want to be or what they do. So adjust the language. Imagine if you are in the position you're right now, I'm assuming a photographer, and hopefully a successful one, and hopefully on the way to being more successful. And imagine you just didn't put out in the world that you're a photographer. You didn't mention on your website, you didn't mention on your social media, you know, it's just kind of there. No one would book you. No one would come there and say, oh, they do weddings. They're based out of here. I can book them for this. That's the exact same mindset you have to have with destinations. You need to first tell people, literally, physically, and written out, tell people that's what you do. I am available here. I'm also available worldwide. Destination wedding photographer. So step 1 would be adjust your language on your social media channels, on your website, and wherever it is people find you, adjust your language so you can begin to become perceived as a destination professional. The second thing within tip number 1, which is putting it out publicly into this world, is find opportunities where you can say those things. The best way I can sum this up is one time, all the time, Jess doesn't ask me anything on her Instagram. Usually when we get on a flight and I know we're just gonna be up there and she'll be like, hey, ask me anything. And she'll start answering these questions. Someone asked her, where is the dream destination you have not photographed a wedding yet? So what she did was she answered that question publicly, and it said Lake Como. She said the one place right now I haven't photographed that I would love to, on my top of my list, is Lake Como, Italy. Put that into the world. 4 hours, within 4 hours, we had 2 separate DMs from different couples who work for someone, the same person, who's getting married in Lake Como. which means within 4 hours of telling the world, our platform, this is what I want, this is what I'm desiring, they connected us with the couple. Yes, there was hard work that went into it, emails and follow-ups and the work part that comes with shooting and booking weddings. But because of that, a year later, we flew to Lake Como, Italy, and we photographed the most insane wedding of our lives. It was beautiful, and because of that, we have new friends who are at weddings and destination places that we'll talk about in a second. We have connections with vendors because of that, all because we put it out into this world publicly. And if for some reason right now you're thinking, if I do that, you're probably thinking of a name or a group of people, so-and-so will think this of me, or so-and-so will look down on me, or who am I to do this? Well, one, to put it lightly, just avoid the naysayers. Screw that. Forget the naysayers, if I can put it kindly, because usually someone who's gonna criticize you for doing that, you're striking a chord in them and it's pissing them off that they're not doing it and you are. So if you need the permission, here it is, go put it out into this world. And if you need more encouragement, at one point I didn't have a passport. At one point I had never photographed anything out of my home state of California. And at one point no one knew I was a traveler and booked destination weddings. And now that's what we do full time. Now we get to do that 50% of the year. We're on an airplane traveling the world, which is amazing. And I love that. So whatever it is, if that desire is in you, here's your sign right now. Go put it out into this world. And now for tip number 2. And yes, it is wonderful to go put it out in this world and put it on your website, put it on your Instagram and start talking about it. But that is not enough. Tip 1 is just one part of the puzzle. Tip 2 is really where a lot of it continues. To put it out there is completely necessary, but what also is necessary is to get your boots on the ground and go out there and do it. In other words, prove it. You can see floods of people on Instagram have camera world travel, which I love. I'm encouraging you literally to put that on your Instagram, but it's more powerful when it says destination wedding photographer, or maybe you're in Charleston and you also want to photograph in New York City. Maybe you're in some small town in Mississippi and you also want to photograph in New York City or Paris. Or maybe it's California. Maybe you want a Santa Barbara wedding. You have to put that on there, but it's more powerful when it's on there and it's proven. They can scroll down, they can see your website. Oh, they say that and they're practicing what they preach. People book who they know, like, and trust. Trust part comes from you're saying this and you're doing it. You're practicing what you preach. And you might be thinking, yeah, that's great, but I haven't booked the wedding yet. I haven't gotten the photo shoot of my dreams in that location yet. And that's okay, because you don't have to wait around for someone to book you. You can go put your boots on the ground, front the money, and do it. When Jess and I wanted to start shooting more in New York City, she used to live out there, so she had a few connections and some friends, and we didn't book our first wedding out there because we said, we really want to shoot in New York City. We said we're destination wedding photographers, and then we fronted 2 trips to New York City. And on those trips, we planned engagement sessions. We found our friends and we said, hey, can we photograph you guys for free because I just want the content? And then I had friends out there who are photographers take photos of us around the city. And I got all kinds of Instagram content around the city, and I started putting those images on our website. I started posting those images on our Instagram, so people started to see that is what we do. So there are so many things you can do like that. If there are styled shoots, my friend Michelle Harris hosts these in Virginia, I think in Richmond right now, where it's like, shoot your city, know your city. She's doing that so people can come out there and photograph that city so they can get content from a place they want to be. And maybe it's not New York. Maybe you can't afford to front a trip to Paris right now, but maybe there's somewhere in driving distance from you, and you can drive a long way. I mean, realistically, you can drive anywhere in America. It might take several days, but you can do it. Maybe there's a city a few hours away, or maybe it's 12 hours away, but you have that desire to go out there and photograph destination weddings. If that's in reach for you, my biggest encouragement to you is go do it and make it count. Go prove it. Go set up that styled shoot. Go book that retreat somewhere that you want to shoot at. Go make a styled session. Go photograph a cute couple. If you're like, I do have friends over there, I'm gonna go photograph them. Go do it. And then you can start to leak that out into your platform, into your website, and people will start to see and perceive you more as an expert in that destination or in the destination space wherever you want to be. So number 1 is put it out in this world publicly. Number 2 is put your boots in the ground and go do it. Whether that's fronting flights to New York and sleeping in the tiniest Airbnb you could possibly imagine, or sleeping on a friend's couch and just finding cute people on the street to photograph because you desire it so badly. Because you might have that desire, but if you're not willing to do that, there are people out there who are willing to drive overnight to go do that photo shoot, to sleep in their car so they can make it the next 6 hours to that city so they can be known as the photographer in that spot. And that's kind of what you gotta do. It's a grind, but it is worth it if you're gonna do it. And that brings me to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is when you do put it out in this world, when you do get that destination wedding or decide I'm gonna drive to New York and I'm gonna photograph this destination I've always wanted to. Step number 3 is make it count and give it all you've got. Congratulations, you've decided to do this, but it would be nice. You go shoot this destination, you cheer, yeah, I did it. But how much better would it be if before the trip you planned and you thought, yeah, I'm grateful for this opportunity, but what else? Ask yourself, what else? You know, there's a rule in improv called yes and, where you would respond with the question, you say yes, and then you say and, which the and part is and more. I'm going to add something to this. So can you shoot my destination wedding? You can tell yourself yes, and while I'm there, I'm gonna connect with this person and this person, or I'm also gonna do an engagement session, or I'm also gonna have someone photograph me. I'm also gonna spend a whole afternoon, or I'm gonna get up at sunrise and get all kinds of Instagram content of this city so that when I leave here, I know that I gave it all I got and I got all the content I could. And a lot of times that content and giving it all you got boils down to what you can do for other people as well. You know, if you get a wedding, or maybe you book a retreat, or maybe you have an engagement session in a city you like, you can email the vendors. Hey, I'm so excited to work with you. Is there anything else I can do while I'm in your city? Do you guys need headshots? Something, and start that relationship. Or maybe later, post-wedding, you better be sending everyone those photos and you better be crushing it. You better be giving it all you've got. But maybe you connect with them later. I had so much fun at this wedding with you. I loved working with you. Here's the photos. Hey, is there a spot in your city that you've always wanted to shoot at? I would love to help you plan a styled shoot there. And if you start doing this, you can start to see the reciprocity of doing that in this city enough. Maybe it's one city, maybe it's all over the world like me. But you start doing this enough in enough destinations, I'd put money on that it's gonna turn over quicker than you think. And you're gonna start to be perceived as and known as by the industry as destination photographer, who is an expert in their space, who goes all over the world, has connections all over the places they wanna shoot. So just to give you an example of this, when Jess and I booked that Lake Como wedding, we were there in August 2020, and the exception that we were allowed to be there, they were doing weddings in August at the time. We were allowed to be there for, I think it was 4 days. So we could only be there for 3.5 days for work, which means, and the wedding was 3 days long, which means we land starting that evening all the way till 3 a.m. when we fly out, the wedding is on. So what did we do? Leading up to it, we emailed every single vendor in Italy. So excited to work with you. We already knew each other by first name by the time we landed. We got the timeline. They liked us. We liked them. It was easy. But then we slept on the plane, and when we landed, we knew it was go time. And within that 3.5 days, we slept for 12 hours total because we knew we had to give it all we got. We were the first there and we were the last to leave. We stayed up till 5 a.m. doing the Instagram story, tagging everyone, so when we woke up for the after party, which started at like 9 a.m. the next day, everyone saw the photos and they connected those with us, and we served that bride and groom well. And it was 100% worth it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I would sleep 0 hours if I had to because it was worth it. Now I leave that wedding, and I've already got an inquiry from one of the guests for a Greece wedding, because guess who hangs out and goes to destination weddings? People who also want destination weddings. People attract the same kind of people as them. And you do this enough and you give it all you've got and you show up to serve, you're gonna start seeing results quicker than you think. So those are my 3 tips to get you started with booking destination weddings. 1, be bold, put it out there in this world publicly. 2, put your boots on the ground, and even if you're not booking them yet, go make it happen. Go do the shoots, go do the destination retreats, whatever that looks like for you. And 3, once you get any opportunity, give it all you've got and make it count. And if you're thinking, okay, is there any other starting points? Like, is there a retreat or anything like that? This is one of the reasons Jess and I host retreats, as we host several retreats in Santa Barbara a year and destination retreats. I think we're gonna make the next one Sayulita, Mexico. It's gonna be amazing. And because of this, we do a styled wedding shoot and a styled engagement session every single retreat. And because of this, one of our attendees from a couple retreats ago lives nowhere near California, flew out to California, made it count, give it all she got. She did this session, this styled wedding session in Santa Barbara at a gorgeous venue. She went home, she edited the photos, she submitted it to Style Me Pretty, got on the cover of Style Me Pretty, and now she's known as a published destination wedding photographer with California under her belt. That's amazing. So if you're interested in joining us on one of our retreats, you can hit the link below this video, and it's gonna put you on a wait list, because we're about to announce dates for the next 2 or 3 retreats. And if you want to be on the top of the list and have first dibs at a seat, just let me know. Just put your name on that list and you will be at the top of that list. Until next time, my friends, know that you are capable of doing all these things. You are fully capable of booking destination weddings, to showing up, doing the work, and giving it all you've got. And just for fun, if you wouldn't mind, down in the comments, can you just comment your dream destination? If you have one in mind, if you're like, this is the spot I really want to photograph, will you just put that in the comments so I can start to see what you're passionate about and where you're passionate about, because I would love to know. And that's all I got for you today. Go out there and crush it, and I will see you in the next video.